my favorite thing that I'm starting to do. My favorite thing that I'm starting to do is review people complaining about their state in life. I do not watch it before I get a chance to view it, but I make sure that it is something worth viewing. Make sure that you guys hit a like for the algorithm. Shout out to y'all that subscribe to the channel and the people that tapped into the Patreon. Make sure you get that Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Let's deep dive into this because I feel like laughing, and hopefully they give me something that I can laugh about.
Y'all, what is this math? What is this inflation math? How is it that inflation is at 7.5%, but everybody is marking it up 25 and 30%? Like, I'm looking at you, Dollar Tree. The is this? What I don't understand. It's random, and then it's across the board. Like, some of the shit in the Dollar Tree wasn't worth $1 in the first place, but you're like, I'll break even. $1.
So let me help you to understand how inflation works. So inflation, let's just say inflation is at 7.5%, right? Because a lot of people don't understand how money works, and so they get on TikTok and they make these TikToks and they sound smart to a bunch of people that don't understand it. But I'm gonna break it down for you. So inflation is a combination of different things that then is put together basically in an aggregate that shows you exactly what that average percentage is based off of a lot of different factors, right? So you can go food inside of the store, maybe at a certain inflation number, gas, right? Rent may be up exponentially more than all of that stuff, but it all balances out at the end of the day, but it's then individually applied to based off of your lifestyle. So you may be living in an exponentially more inflationary environment than person B over here that may be living in less of an inflationary situation because what it is that they pay or what their life circumstances is doesn't require them to then have to subject themselves to the same things that you're subjecting yourself to. So for example, if I'm the type of person that do not have gas cars and I only drive electric cars, then I'm not subjected to gas prices that would then contribute to what my lifestyle inflation would be. Whereas if you're the type of person that go to the dollar store every time, right? The dollar store then they compile how much they need to raise prices, not based off of what the rate of inflation is, but what their true cost is in order to continue to do business. So if they have to raise rates, right? If they have to raise how much they pay their employees, if their rent goes up, if the cost of logistics in order to get stuff to and from into the United States in order to have it inside of their stores, if the rate that they charge drivers in order to deliver the stuff then goes down exponentially because the cost of shipping goods and services goes down, all of those different things factor into what your personal inflation is, or more importantly, what they need to raise prices into being based off of what it costs them to do business and maintain relevancy in the marketplace as a company. So you can't just look at it in one way and say, well, the inflation is at 7.5%. No, you can't use that. You can't use what the government is putting out there in the news to say what inflation is in order to justify what you're paying inside of a specific store, because their cost of doing business is much different than what it is that your cost is as far as inflation. Also, they may have not raised prices according to how inflation has been over the last few years. So if you see a jump up in 25% in the cost of doing business, significantly up, then that means that it's probably that they have been keeping prices down because they didn't want to pass the cost over to their customers and just adjust prices every single time that we have a month of inflation that's compared to the year of yesteryear, right? So when you see these people complaining and whining, it just shows you their level of misunderstanding of how it is that money works, especially when it comes to inflation and how that applies to their life. I love it to see people complaining, because the more that you let people talk, the more that they reveal how much that they don't know. But let's continue to hear what she got to say.
25.
When are things going to go back to where you can work and support your family without fucking
Somebody said the energy for EVs is just coming from the outlet. Yeah. However, I don't necessarily have to pay for that because that's a baked in cost for where it is that I live. So I don't pay for that energy. Or when I charge my car over at a free place or where you work at or something like that, you're still not experiencing the same type of inflation as somebody else may be experiencing, because the cost of doing business for them is different for you, right? Let's continue.
Stressing out.
I'm fed up with how much it costs to eat. Like, it's to the point where it's like, how is
Oh, hold on. I don't want to do this. I I don't want to do this.
We supposed to be the moms like the TikTok girlies where we taking our kids to the aquarium and it's $65 per kid to get in the aquarium when we could barely feed them.
You better take them little munchkins over to the fish store. Listen. You do not deserve to go over to the aquarium and pay $65. What about, listen, you know what our parents used to do? You know what we used to do when we used to go to the movie theater? We would go and buy our snacks and bring it with us inside of the movie theater, or we would eat before we went. Y'all ain't never actually ate before you went somewhere so that you're not hungry, or you pack a lunch. You know that when you go to work every day, you don't have to go out to eat with your coworkers every day, or you don't have to order DoorDash. You can also, here's a hint, pack a lunch. I told y'all the other day, I went to the store, we went to go get our daughter a calculator, and I wound up going and buying a bunch of food just so I can pack a lunch because I just wanted to eat something different than what they got on DoorDash every day. You don't have to go to the aquarium.
And we're back with another TikTok vents about inflation. We have a couple of these videos in this series, and it's really great to be able to hear people and what they're going through. I think without social media, I don't know for sure. What do you have good firsthand?
My bills alone are $3,000 a month. I'm a single mom who receives like $300 a month in child support for 2 kids.
Oh. Nobody told you to have a child. Nobody told you to walk away from the child's father. Nobody told you to not be married when you had children. Nobody told you to run up all of those bills. Nobody told you to have 2 children. Nobody told you to do any of this stuff. All of this stuff is self-inflicted. When I'm seeing these people online complaining, I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Thank you all for continuing to hold me down. When I hear all of y'all online complaining, who told you to maintain a lifestyle that required you to get a car note, have kids, become a single baby mama? That's your fault. Hey, matter of fact, let me throw some salt in y'all wounds. Hey, fellas, you want to know what the real finesse is? Let me tell y'all how y'all can cut y'all child support so that they suffer even more for their own decisions. So this is what you do, right? Pay attention closely. So look, child support is largely based off of what your earnings are, okay? Child support is based off of what your earnings are. So they take your paycheck and then they calculate what the percentage of it needs to go into child support, and then they send that over into the woman, and the whole system is made to where y'all can start making a lot of money. This is how you can finesse women like this, right? If you want to have all of my pookies out here, I never give y'all a bone, but I'm going to throw y'all a bone today. If you want to finesse a woman like this that wanted to open up her legs to you and didn't require you to wear a condom or told you to take the condom off, let me tell you how you can finesse them, right? So when you start your own business, you don't necessarily want to operate as a LLC or a sole proprietorship. You want to make sure that you operate as a corporation. As a corporation, what happens is they basically are their own entity, meaning that they have their own TIN, EIN, employee identification number, tax ID number, so on and so forth. So that files taxes separately than what it is that you file taxes. When you traditionally do your taxes and you got an LLC, what it is you usually file it on a Schedule C. A Schedule C is basically another form that basically allows for you to justify what your earnings are in your business. Follow along. Sole proprietorship, similar thing. When you file your taxes as a regular employee, they just tell you to put in your W-2. If you have any deductions as far as your home and all of this other type of stuff, then they put that on there. It's a very simple process. Most of y'all just go to H&R Block, give y'all money away for no reason. You can do that on your own, right? When you have a business, what happens is you have to include what's called a Schedule C. A Schedule C allows for you to actually itemize how much money you made, how much money you had to spend, how much you invested, how much you lost, so on and so forth, right? And then at the end of the conversation, what they really tax you on is what's called an adjusted gross income. Your adjusted gross income is your W-2 income minus or plus what your business income is, all right? I don't usually give away all of this type of game or have these conversations with y'all for free, but I'm going to tell you how to reduce your child support. Your adjusted gross income is the total amount that they tax you on. That's how you know whether or not you're going to get a refund or you owe. It's your adjusted gross income. It's called an AGI. It's usually on the first page of your 1040 that you file with the IRS, okay? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you the information. I am not a tax professional. I'm just giving you the game, all right? So take what I say with a grain of salt. Also consult your tax professionals. This is not advice. Your adjusted gross income is the amount of money that you pay your taxes on, okay? So what happens is if you have a business that has justifiably legal losses, let's say, for example, you started a business, real estate, web development company, whatever, right? And let's say you invested more into that business than what it returned because you had a startup company, you building, or you bought more houses, or you building the materials and you're not getting rent from those properties yet, right? Then that means that you take your W-2 income, let's say you made $100,000 a year, and then you invested an additional $62,000 a year into this business. Well, that would mean that your adjusted gross income is $38,000, even though you paid taxes on $100,000. So now all of that money that you got coming back, right, because you was in a 22% tax bracket, now you in a 12% tax bracket or even less, because all of that money has to come back because they can only tax you based off of your adjusted gross income, not what it is that you made on your W-2. This is why you need to start a business. Now, the child support part comes like this, because most of the time they take child support based off of what your weekly or your bi-weekly earnings or wherever it is your paycheck is, right? Here's the other side of it. Let's say you own a business. Let's say you actually a corporation though. That means that that's a completely different or separate entity. Now that corporation pays taxes. It's similar to an Apple, right? Let's say Apple is Apple, but Tim Cook, who is the CEO of Apple, works for Apple. Now Apple pays its own taxes and Tim Cook pays his own taxes based off of what Apple pays them. Well, it's the same thing. You start in this corporation, you file taxes differently because the corporation is its own entity, and then you pay yourself a salary, right? That means that they have to take child support based off of what you're paying yourself instead of what the company makes. It's a completely different conversation. Again, take this advice with a grain of salt. Make sure that you consult with your tax professionals. But when you're paying yourself as a business owner, it is completely different than being a W-2 employee. Meaning that you can reduce whatever it is that your tax burden is, your personal tax burden is, and you can reduce the amount that you have to give over to the federal government in order to give her child support by reducing the amount that you're taking in salary so that the company can thrive much more because you had to make the sacrifice as an individual in order to save your company, right? So for all of my pookies out there that's getting women pregnant, but you worried about the fact that you got to give her over child support, but then you also run your own companies or you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. You just got out of jail and you started your company and you're making a lot of money. Reduce the amount of money that you have to depend on in order to pay your personal bills by paying yourself a reduced salary, and then pour more money into the company and then make the sacrifice as the CEO of that company. And then you can also justify your paycheck to the federal government to then say that, hey, I don't make that much money. She shouldn't be getting that much in child support. You're just an employee of the business. You're an employee of the business. You're not the What do y'all want from me? What do y'all want from me? When you look at the base salary of all of your CEOs and all of these people that's in a C-suite or whatever, don't you know that the base salary is just so they can sustain? They get all of their pay in equity. Equity is not taxable until you wind up pulling the equity out of it, right? And then you get reduced taxes based off of the gains, right? That you then make off of that equity. So you can only pay taxes on what it is that you pull out, which is why a lot of people then take loans against the equity because it would cost them more in taxes in order to pull out of the company, which is increasing their assets. It's increasing their assets, all right? So when you listening to all of these people telling y'all all of this stuff, it's not just about how much money you make as a bag chaser. It's how much money you keep. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's continue to hear these women complain.
I can't do this anymore. I work every single day. I get maybe a day off. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I'll get 2 fucking days off. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of this. And I fucking forgot to pay my daughter's braces. And now I have to bring her in for them to remove them because I can't afford to pay it all off at once. I am so sick of this country. I'm so sick of how expensive everything fucking is. Something needs to happen.
And we're sick of you opening up your legs and then becoming a single mother and complaining about the situation that you put yourself in and only getting $300 a month in child support. Shout out to him for finessing her.
Rent is insane.
And I know y'all not paying attention to the fact that this woman got butterfly eyelashes. Those are not her eyelashes. These women are the same women as the women that you're trying to run away from. Don't think just because they got pale skin that they're any different than the women that you're getting finessed from. She is going to try to find herself a baby daddy, and she's also going to finesse the man that she left. And who's to even say that she's not getting child support from 2 different baby daddies? Listen, y'all. She's in a car with stitched leather with sunglasses on, butterfly eyelashes, and she probably got her teeth done, and she got a nose ring, and she got her eyebrows arched, telling you about how it is that she don't like the cost of living, and even though she got to take care of her 2 kids. Come on, man. Don't go for it.
Insane. A 2-bedroom is fucking $2,000. I can't go to the grocery store and get a week's worth of fucking groceries.
And a lot of these white girls also be having extensions in their hair. Bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. That hair that they be wearing inside of their head do not be real. They just don't be having the baby hairs in the front, so it can be a little bit more deceiving to the guys, to the untrained eye. A lot of these chicks be having pieces and weave and all of this other type of stuff, and they pay a lot of money for it, fam.
Without spending $300, $400. Gas alone, almost $4 a gallon. I have to drive all over my town for my job because
Nobody
I clean
told you
houses.
to get that big SUV. You should have got a hoopty.
I'm so sick of it. Something needs to be done. Something. These prices are insane. It's ridiculous. Nobody can fucking survive like this, especially if you're alone, you're single. You can't.
Yeah.
Like, do I have to get a fucking roommate and rent out my son's room and move him in my room?
No, you can go back to your baby daddy. Go back to the man that you had children with. Maybe you can get a little bit more out of him.
Like, this country, it sucks. It sucks. I'm sick of it. And I'm tired. God, and I'm pissed.
Her video went viral on TikTok, and there was actually a lot of comments on her appearance and her eyelashes and things, which personally I don't think is fair. First of all, eyelashes like that don't even cost.
And there was the usual inflation bullshit. So oats has gone up 10 pence since 2 weeks ago when I last did the food shop.
I don't know.
It used to be 80
I don't
pence,
listen
now
to
it's 90
foreigners.
pence. And
I can't relate to their currency exchange.
Absolutely sick of Canadians complaining about the prices of groceries right now. It's not that bad. I just came back from grocery shopping and a jar of tomato sauce was only $14.99. And it was like the specialty. They made it in house stuff. If you wanted the cheaper stuff, I found ragu for only $7.99 a jar. So what are we complaining about? Oh, I had a lettuce. A little baby had a lettuce. It's so expensive. It's like $10.99. If you're going to complain about that, then go outside. It's fall. Pick up some leaves off the ground. They're falling off trees. Sprinkle a little rainwater on them. You got yourself a salad. You know what I mean? Oh, the price of dairy, it's gone way up. Well,
Hey, you know what I don't like? I'm not even listening to this guy. He got his Carhartt hat on. He got his shirt buttoned all the way up to the top. That's cool. The thing I don't like is when guys zoom in while they doing their TikToks or they doing their Instagram things when they keep doing this. I can't do it, bro. I got to move over to the next guy. I don't want to hear all of the complaining. I'm not interested. Let's see.
Give us some of those tips you might have in our comments on that video. Hello, fam. It's Kim. Description box below. Don't forget to follow us on X and join our.
I just went to fill up my car, and it cost me $102. Okay, that's a sick joke. Considering my car used to be $80, like how did we get to this? Like $102. You've just like cost me about 5 cups of coffee that I now won't buy because I had to put extra in my fucking car for fuel this week. I basically feel.
Aw, you can't get your coffee. You can't get your coffee. You can't get your coffee.
feel like I would really like to know what you guys all earn and what exactly you fucking do to earn that kind of money, because I can sit down and tell you what I do at work, and I work really, really fucking hard, but I've got to live week to week because the inflation right now is kicking me in the ass.
All right,
I don't
thank you.
exactly know what you guys do, because it never seems to be anything that you promise when you're fucking getting elected to be in the government. But anyway, but that's besides the point of this video. You all basically get paid to break fucking promises, I think. But anyway.
Oh, she says she's trying to figure out what we do. I'm rich, bitch. I'm rich. I walk around with a $40,000-$50,000 watch on my wrist, and I drive a bunch of exotic cars that I ain't even got yet that I got on order. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. I ain't got nothing. Nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about it. I'm tired of all of these white women complaining. It's like it's aggravating me.
Videos of these girls talking about how they've saved like $2,000, like $1,500, like in the past month, just like not over consuming, not spending money on frivolous things. And every time those girls said that, I was like, $2,000, like $1,500, like that's a lot of money to be spending on frivolous things anyway. Like, you have that much left over after you pay your bills? Like, I'm only 23, but that was a little scary.
Y'all, what is this math? What is this inflation math? How is it that inflation is at 7.5%, but everybody is marking it up 25 and 30%? Like, I'm looking at you, Dollar Tree. The f is this? What? I don't understand. It's random. And then it's across the board. Like, some of the shit in the Dollar Tree wasn't worth $1 in the first place. But you're like, I'll break even. $1.25. And I personally feel attacked. I went in the Dollar Tree. I left out of my house without my phone charger in my car. So I said, well, let me go to Dollar Tree and get one. And I go to the electronics aisle. Ain't nothing in there but hammers and batteries. And so I go to the front to the little rounder, and it's like micro USB. Give those away. We're not using those no more. And then like headphones and shit. And so I grabbed one thing, or else I would have left out of there. But here we are. I get to the checkout, and there are the C-type chargers that I was looking for, like right up under the damn cashier's titty in case somebody want to steal them. If all this shit in here costs $1.25, why are you protecting this shit? It don't need to be harder to shop at the Dollar Tree. It already costs more. I know I ain't got no business in there. That's obvious. But God.
Wait. Are you telling me that she's complaining because the stuff in the Dollar Tree is $1.25? Hold on, wait. She's complaining because the stuff in the Dollar Tree. She went on TikTok because the stuff in the Dollar Tree costs $1.25? Seriously? This is what we doing? And people be stealing. People be stealing. That's why they got them behind the counter, because people steal. Haven't you seen the recent videos that's been going viral lately on Anton from AntonDaniels.com on the Millionaire Morning Show? People steal. 5-finger discount. That's why they got them behind there.
I'm tired. And I'm an inflation era baby. I remember 1982. And a lot of things that we enjoy today.
Oh, man, you that old? She remember I was born in 1982. I was born in 1982, and she over here talking and complaining about the 80s?
Used to cost more in the 80s when people made less money. But that don't make it no more palatable for me today. I don't like it. What's the time horizon? How long are we going to be dealing with this? Somebody smarter than me, let me know. Somebody smarter than me.
I'm sorry, but the Dollar Tree.
I already gave you the solution, ma'am. Let's see if we can get to one more.
Well, like a month and a half ago, they sent out an email to everyone talking about they're going to raise their minimum pay by $2. And so now everyone's going to start off at this amount. And I'm like, wow, I'm only making a few dollars more than someone coming in starting off at a lower position than me. And I've been here for 7 fucking years. I've been here 7 years. And y'all mean to tell me we're not going to get any raise? But then they're like, no, everyone's going to get a raise. We're going to da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. So I wait about a month and a half. I'm like, let's see what this raise is talking about, because they just said inflation is at an all-time high. So they're going to take care of us, right? I get called in on Monday talking about here's your raise, and it's 60 cents. 60 cents. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? So you
Go find a new job. That's what you're supposed to do. Listen, y'all. Let me give y'all some life advice. When I see a lot of y'all and y'all out here talking about, yeah, Anton, I'm trying to stay loyal to my company or whatever, so on and so forth. Obviously, I've been telling y'all to develop new life skills so that y'all can make an adjustment. However, 3 years is the maximum time that you want to sit there idle inside of a company hoping and waiting for them to give you a promotion. It's not going to happen. By the time that you start to get to that 3-year mark, you want to start getting the itch. Before 4 years, you should already be in a full-blown search to where you're making yourself available to somebody else that is going to pay you a significant amount more to leave the company, right? 3 years is the maximum because that is the time to where you can actually get some projects under your belt. You can make some friends. When somebody looks at your resume, it doesn't look like you job hop all the time. You have some stability. You're able to have that on your resume, so on and so forth. But at 3 years, that's around the time. That is the time that you want to really, really start getting the itch. And then at the 4-year mark, you should be sprinting and you should already have your LinkedIn updated. You should be refined when it comes to your social media. Your resume should be absolutely, you should be in touch with recruiters. You should be making friends, shaking hands, kissing babies, and leveraging your PTO time to where you can start doing interviews because it is time to transition and it is the perfect time for you to actually be able to substantiate that you've been there long enough. You have some loyalty. You got some projects under your belt. You can speak to some accomplishments. And then also you need to be moving on because you can probably get 1.5, at least double what you were making at your current position. Okay? Stop whining and complaining. Develop new skills. Move into new industries. And don't be scared to transition into a completely different position. You are always going to make a bigger bag leaving than you are sticking around. All right?
I mean to tell me you know that inflation is at an all-time high and you gonna give me 60 cents? Yep. Oh, no.
And you gonna like it too.
You got me f***ed up.
I spent $425 on groceries a week and a half ago, and I'm running out of stuff already. I look in the freezer, ain't nothing left but a half a pack of ground turkey and a whole chicken. Where is the rest of the food at? I just grocery shopped.
All your badass kids is eating them. What you mean? You and your kids are eating it.
The juice gone, eggs dwindling. Like, it's too much. Then you can't even eat out either. Why?
And why y'all drinking juice? Get some water. Eggs are cheap. Go and get you some more of them. You can make as many of them as you want. And you ain't got to trip about it. Eggs are cheap. Eggs are cheap. Throw some black pepper on them joints and you good. Eggs are cheap. She sure didn't cook the whole chicken, but they drunk all of the juice. Drink some water. Drink some water. I don't really understand.
Why is Wingstop $18.99 for a 10-piece?
That's why. Because you was listening to Rick Ross. You decided to go and get some Wingstop. And now you complaining about it. Nobody told you that you had to go over to Wingstop. Nobody told you that you had to go over to Wingstop. You got that hair done, though. You got them edges pulled back. You got your kitchen back there taken care of in the back of your head. You got that long weave. I bet you she not going to forego going to the salon that next week. I bet you she not going to forego going to the salon that next week. I guarantee you.
When? It used to be $10. $10 for a 10-piece with the fries back in the day. What is going on? Chipotle, $18. What
she
was
know
$18?
All of the restaurant prices.
What was $18? Subway, Panera, and don't even get me started on.
Don't y'all know that when y'all started protesting and asking for a livable wage, and you were saying at least $15, $16, $17 an hour for the people that was going to be putting your food together at Chipotle, and they didn't necessarily have to have any kind of skill set to do anything, but didn't you know that cost was going to be passed over to the consumers? Oh, so y'all didn't know how economics worked. You didn't know how money worked. You didn't know that they couldn't keep the prices the exact same, but they had to pass that price over to the consumer when you was advocating on the behalf of the people in order to continue to raise wages. Oh, you didn't know that you was going to be paying for those people to have those wages? You didn't know that rent was gonna go up. You didn't know that they had to have benefits now, and so you was gonna be the one that was paid for their benefits. What you thought that they was gonna take a loss? You thought that they was gonna take a L? No, that's you, and you gonna be happy to pay them too.
Trying to eat healthy because now I got to buy my fruits and vegetables weekly, every 4 days, not even weekly. It's just ridiculous how much money you got to spend on food. I don't even want to be hungry.
So you telling me that she's spending $1,700 a month? 4, 8, 12, 16, 25 times 4, that's another $100. Are you telling me she's spending $1,700 a month? $1,700 a month on food.
No more. For real.
I am madder than a cat on a hot tin roof. And let me
And she set that joke up. She practiced that joke about 8 times before she jumped on the live stream and she did her little TikTok. She messed up the first 3 times. I am madder. Hold on, let me start that again. I am madder than a hot cat on a tin. I said that wrong. I am madder than a cat that's mad in a hat. Oh, I'm sorry. I am madder than a cat on a tin roof that got a hat on his head that is mad in the summertime. She practiced that joke about 18 times before she jumped in here, and she really led with that joke like that was going to hit. Come on, y'all. I am madder than a cat with a tinfoil hat on a roof and a cat in a hat. Let me rewind that one more time. Let me see how she started that joke off.
am madder than a cat on a hot tin roof. And let me tell you why. I have just left the damn grocery store, okay? Now, as we all know, I'm a coffee drinker. I need a part-time job just to afford my coffee drinking habit. I went into Harris Teeter and I bought 2 containers of coffee and 2 containers of oat milk creamer. Now, mind you, they're not like huge containers. What are they, like the half-gallon cold brew containers of coffee or whatever? $30.03.
Y'all know y'all don't have to drink this stuff, right? You can just drink water.
$30.03 for 2 containers of Khalifa Farms coffee and 2 containers of Silk oat milk creamer? Are you kidding me? How the hell?
I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about. I don't even drink coffee. I don't even know what she's talking about. Oatmeal creamer and all of this stuff. Yo, this is a dumb group of people.
Can anyone afford this? This is
all of these women are just broke as hell, and just crying and complaining, and they not giving up their habits.
ridiculous. I mean, this makes no sense. This is a crime, and this is just coffee, and I'm so blessed to just be able to afford to have the luxury of coffee. But what about those people that cannot afford to eat? We eat mostly plant-based, although we do.
Every homeless person I know has got a lot of weight on them. I'm not even gonna kid you, bro. That's the honest. Maybe that's just here in Detroit, because I'll be out here giving a lot of money away or buying a lot of food for people and giving them a lot of gift cards. Every homeless person I know is well suited. They certainly ain't got no gym membership, but they so do got a lot of weight on them. See, the homeless people over here is different than the homeless people in other countries. The homeless people in other countries be like, oh, God, can you give me something? I need 1 drip of water. Can you even pee in my mouth so that I can have some kind of nutrition because I'm dying out here? The homeless people over here in the United States of America be like, I need some more coffee. I don't know what to do. They different over here.
You eat occasional seafood, and I just spent $134.96 to come out of Harris Teeter with 4 bags. Now,
I'm sick of these people. Their lifestyle, honestly, is 10 times more than mine is. And I'm doing okay out here in these streets financially. These people lifestyle, the way that they describe how they live their life, they spend $1,700 a month on food. They out there with $3,000 a month in expenses. My personal expenses is nowhere near that. My personal expenses, meaning that what it takes in order for me to survive and live on a monthly basis, is less than $1,000 a month. Let me say that one more time. My personal expenses, and that's basically what it takes in order for me to survive and be able to thrive, as far as what my monthly personal expenses, not business expenses, not what it takes in order for me to travel to and from in order to come to y'all and see y'all and go to your city and do the debates and Patreon meetups and all of that stuff. My personal expenses is less than $1,000 a month. Mr. Youngblood, people are showing their bank account balances on TikTok. Oh, we're going to look at that tomorrow. I didn't know that. And Mr. Youngblood, send that to me in my email. People showing their bank account balances on TikTok. That's going to be a great show. That is going to be a great show. I'm going to name tomorrow's show Checks and Balances. I'm going to name tomorrow's show Checks and Balances. Yeah, Checks and Balances. My personal expenses is less than $1,000 a month. Meaning, if everything went to shit today, it would only cost me $1,000, less than $1,000 in order to be able to survive. Honestly, that's what my personal expenses are. It's less than $1,000 a month. Oh, y'all want to see my bank account balance? It's wild. No, my bank account balance is not wild. It's it depends on what accounts you're talking about.